So you want to know how to smoke properly in Dota 2. Smoking in Dota 2 always leads to a high percentage win rate in teamfight for high level games. So today we're gonna look through the possibilities of what smoking in Dota does to you. So you might have noticed that one of the greatest and most impactful plays in Dota always starts with teams being smoked. But what is it in Dota that makes smokes hard to use? Let's start with the basics and check it out. So the secret sauce to smoking in a game are all about information and timing. The item is usually bought by position 4 or 5 as the timing is most suited for them to bring a +1 to collapse on the enemy. Let's start with the common smoke. The earliest type of smoke would be on the 4, 5, and 6 minute mark. Let's break it down and be more specific about it. The 4 minute mark do not usually require smoke, as in some situation, you sometimes just want to prioritize securing a water rune for your mid without the intention to kill, unless the enemy screws up. And on the 5 minute mark, this is actually a very good smoke timing because it gives you nighttime vision and also the enemy's mid ward will expire around the same time. Personally, I do not really use this smoke, but sometimes when you really need to prioritize the mid lane as there is a threat that you cannot be ignored, like a Huskar, or in some cases, your mid is losing too hard that you have to help him come back into the game. So I usually chill and play with offlaner or carry as a support and wait for the next timing. And the next timing is a 6 minute rune. 6 minute power rune is one of the most important timing in the game as it can depend which team will get the early momentum just from one power rune. And it is where you usually see pro support players are even willing to die to deny the rune to the opposing team. Power rune is 100% worth smoking both support to assist the mid lane. It is that important as you always have to watch out if the enemy or your own mid laner is a botter carrier, which should be a huge alarm bell for how important the runes are for these mid laners. And don't forget that the best time to start rotating for any of these runes always start at the 45-second mark. Smoking with mid. Now speaking of mid, nowadays there are a lot of more active mid heroes in the meta, which actually means that they are always hungry to fight during a certain period of time, and it is your job to lay down the red carpet for them to shine. But the $1,000,000 question is, how do you do that? The formula is very structured and you just have to do this on repeat every time you play position 4 or 5. Once your mid laner is level 6 or 7, most of the time they have a skill to wave shove the creeps and proceed to farm the jungle. But that is where you come in. Instead of letting your mid run back to the jungle to farm and have no impact in the map, that's why you smoke his ass and legally kidnap him, forcing him to gank the other lane. The next tip is smoking with heroes that has ultimates ready. This is not only the support's responsibility, as any core roles that has huge skill off cooldown has the responsibility to call for smokes or even buy the 50 gold item yourself, saving the time needed from communicating as timing is very sensitive when you are dealing with smokes. Shoving the wave. Just because your spells are off cooldown doesn't mean that you are really ready to smoke. Always look at the map and make sure to shove the creeps that are approaching near your tower. Doing this will actually allow you a few seconds of invisibility in the map as the Radiant and Dire creeps are approaching each other, giving you the perfect disguise needed to jump any unsuspecting targets. So the next one is smoking when you reach a new item. So which item is so important that you have to pull back the schedule for it? In most cases, this item is BKB. We all know how important this item is and how it can completely change the team fight when you activate it, making you technically immortal for the next few seconds. There is also some other worthy mention of important items such as MKB when you're going against a Phantom Assassin or someone that has Butterfly, Aghanim Scepter, for heroes that has OP spells like Kunkka, as they can make a very huge impact in the game with it, or even Butterfly, to take advantage of heroes that can't hit you in that moment as they need to get MKB themselves, and even items like Lincoln Sphere to counter spells like Doom or even Bane's Fiend's Grip. In this game, you can see Pure and the Morphling went for Butterfly to go against a Phantom Lesser that doesn't really like to buy MKB, countering the hero's diffuser timing. And now for the obvious but not so obvious tip, smoking when there is an opportunity. So what exactly is a moment of opportunity? It is usually defined by two aspects and both of them are based on using valuable information. The first is spotting mispositioning through map awareness. This is a fairly common smoke as this time of smoke is not based on how strong you are but actually based on the enemy's mistake of farming or moving greedily. Taking this action is usually force a 5v4 team fight where you have the advantage. This type of smokes are commonly seen when you are behind as well. And for the second aspect of opportunity, it's actually based on spell cooldowns. For sure that you can smoke and fight the enemy when they are weak and use up all their spells. But what I want to point out here is that the scenario that most people do not know how to handle. Let's say that you lost a team fight and you are witnessing the enemy eating up your tier 3 tower and your racks. In this situation, many people would just feel like giving up as they just feel embarrassed or ashamed that they are the first team to lose the racks in the game. But in reality, most pro players know how to take this opportunity by assessing what has happened. First, you must take a quick mental recap of the last team fight. And from there specifically, you have to start thinking about the enemy's BKB cooldown, ultimate cooldown, buybacks, and even if Roshan is coming up. And if any of this cooldown or timing is to your favor, you have to think to yourself, are you able to fight right now or when your team spawns? Like and subscribe if you like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.